Hello, wonderful peeps, and welcome to our latest dev interview as part of our mini indie showcase. I'm Harry Loizides, editor in chief for 61 Indie, and with me is some of the team members of Out of the Bit, here to talk about their latest game, Full Void. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hi there.
Hello.
Very excited to be here with you today. So I'm Ali, Out of the Beat director, and I'm here with Leo and Tom. They're pixel artists and animator in the company.
Awesome, wonderful. And where are you guys all located? I know for me, I'm East Coast,
Yeah,
USA. So where are you guys from?
yeah. We're in the UK. We're in London, in Wimbledon to be exact. So it's a small indie studio, and yeah, we all work together from Wimbledon.
Nice. So, tell me a little bit about you guys. So, what do you guys work on? What do you do? And a little bit about Out of the Bit as a company.
Yeah, absolutely. So I get started. So I grew up in the south of Italy. I grew up in with the 80s, 90s computers. So started with the BBC Micro, which was an odd choice for Italy, but that's what I got, and I was very pleased with it. I learned to program on the BBC Micro Basic. I was around 8 when I started. There was not much to do at the time, so what you did, you read the manual and you learned to make your own games. And then I upgraded to the Amiga and enjoyed all the classics from the Amiga. Play consoles as well, together with my friends like Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, and then PlayStation, and and the rest. Eventually, I moved to the UK where I started working as a developer, and then I decided to create my own studio, and which we started with mobile games in 2008, and we slowly tackled more complex projects up to the creation of Full Void, which is our best game so far.
Mhm.
And slowly grew the company, and Leo and Tom joined in the last few years. If you, I don't know if you guys want to talk about
Um,
yourself as well.
so I'm one of the artists working at Out of the Bit. I have a background in illustration, and I joined the company about 2 years ago now,
Yeah,
um, starting with mostly animations and then also going into all the environment art and everything else that you can see in Full Void. I joined practically at the start of the development of the game, so I've been here for the whole thing pretty much. So we're super excited to have finally finished the game
yeah,
and have it out there and have people play it.
Nice.
Uh, I'm Tom. I grew up in Lincolnshire and I did animation at university. And I only joined Out of the Bit 3 months ish
yeah.
Oh,
um,
nice.
to help finish off animations and stuff mostly. And then after a while, just kind of focused on all of the pixel art along with Leo.
Yeah, and it was
Oh, that's
3 long
wonderful.
months, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very long months. It was Tom's contribution was great with his background in animation. It really took the project and the animation sequence to the next level. So yeah,
Yeah, and I was going to say one of my favorite things about the trailers and everything I've seen is the animations of everything
yeah,
too, like the movement of everything with the pixel art plus the lighting and
yeah.
everything
Those
really
guys.
shines through. So, like, claps to everyone who was
Yeah,
part of that.
Thank you.
Uh,
Cheers.
so, kind of going back to what you mentioned, Ali, about your previous games, I saw the mobile games, and then I saw
yeah,
some pixel, like sports-ish games
yeah.
from your previous things. How did the transition to a more platformy 80s slash futuristic vibes game come into it?
Yeah, I guess we supermarket football and racing. We wanted to explore like kind of classic 90s games, but with a modern twist. So allowing for online play and more content and more levels, like a story mode with comics and stuff. So it was like a games from the 90s on steroids. And the idea with the company is to do modern classics. So games are inspired to like the classic of the 90s, but with a modern twist. And that's the same ethos that we got with Full Void. Obviously, with Full Void, we kind of step up and we expanded the team to tackle a bigger project. And I was always a fan of games like Prince of Persia on the Amiga, Another World, Apes Odyssey, and this kind of games. And I wanted to explore this type of games and create something with our own twist and story. So that's the idea.
Nice. So, with that as well, are there any current or recent-ish indies that you guys have seen that you're like, wow, they've done a really cool job? How can we kind of pick at some of the things they did really well and merge it into what we're working on?
Yeah, very, very good question. I'm big fan also of Inside and Limbo. So from Play That, the amazing game. So obviously there is a little bit of that in Full Void as well. Other games I played recently, but after I completed Full Void, is Planet of Lana. Very well done
Oh,
to
love
that
that.
team. That game is amazing. Really enjoy it. Played together with my family. Really enjoyed it. So that's for me. Those are the picks for me. Limbo, Inside, Little Nightmares maybe as well,
Okay.
and Planet of Lana. So I don't know about you guys.
Pretty much the same. I was gonna say Little
Yeah.
Nightmares,
Yeah.
especially like the creepy
Yeah.
vibes that it has.
Mm-hmm.
Really love those.
Yeah, and I'm the same with Little Nightmares. That's one of my favorite games, and then the second one as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
I haven't played the second
Yeah.
one. But
The second one's really good.
Yeah, I'm not a big scary games guy, but some of the people on the team love Little Nightmares too. Like they
Yeah.
will, their
Yeah.
stands for it. So
Yeah.
excellent choices. Love those.
Yeah.
So in addition to having those cool 90s vibes, the music I feel is one of the standouts with this game as well. Like I love the almost like the synth vibe that's like the 80s that you mentioned, 80s and 90s, with the ominous undertones.
Yeah.
How was it trying to balance the futuristic vibes with the 80s and 90s vibes to bring it into that endeavor?
Yeah. In that regard, it was basically pretty much all credit goes to Robin. She's been doing an amazing job. She's very young, but able to use the Amiga and synths and stuff. And really, so as she's young, but she can use retro computer, she gives that classic but a bit modern twist to the game. So it's like it was the perfect choice. And she's so good. She really gets what if I ask like, I'd love to have something like that, a bit like the chase scene in the first Terminator. And she gets, okay, that's what you want. And she goes like she was amazing. Really, almost every time the first version she sent is like the final. It's so good. She really gets it. And we're working with mod music, like classic Amiga tracker mod music, to give that feeling of retro. Obviously, for some of the sounds, we can make exceptions. We've got like high quality samples and stuff. The good thing is we got our own engine, which I've been working on, and our own music player, so we can kind of integrate it really tightly with the game, kind of to connect with what happens in the scene, which was really a lot of fun to do it. And in terms of audio, not just music, Jack Addison was added to the project towards the end of the project to really bring the ambient sounds to the next level. It's really good to do doing stuff like almost like film trailers, almost like that level of quality. So really added a lot of atmosphere to the most important scenes of the game. So it's again a combined effort from Jack and Robin in terms of audio and soundtrack, and then the custom engine to play them together and connect them with the scene. There's some stuff we can do that is very hard to do with 3D games. We can play sounds at specific frame transitions in the animation. So we can really go like Disney and connect the frames and the animation with the audio, which I think, you don't quite realize, but when you play, there's something that really brings you into the game. And I think that's part of it as well. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that.
I think you pretty much said everything there is to say about the music.
No, that's great. I love that. So now, we've been talking for about 9 minutes, but we haven't actually said what exactly is Full Void. So can you guys give us like a nice little TLDR of like what is happening with this game?
I guess not. You have to buy and play to. I'm joking. No, Full Void is Leo, take this.
So Full Void is a cinematic 2D puzzle platformer set in a dystopian future where rogue AI has taken over the world, and you play as this young character that has to navigate this world and discover all the secrets and the story that we created with it.
This is so up my jam. Like I'm very excited to
I'm glad.
start playing it. I just got my Steam Deck, and I know I saw the video recently that says it can play natively, so that's great. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it works great on the Steam Deck.
Super jazzed. This is gonna be one of my first games I play on it. In terms of the 80s and 90s vibe, which we've kind of mentioned a few times, are there any Easter eggs or any surprises that fans of other genres or games are going to be like, they did the thing from that game or that movie? or is it purely inspiration and not a direct like Easter egg?
I'd say it's more about the vibe than specific
Okay.
scenes. Although, obviously, being a big fan of James Cameron and the Terminator and Aliens, I mean, there is some stuff in there that you kind of recognize, but it's not directly. It's just more that vibe, right? So I don't want to spoil it, but there are a few Easter eggs and stuff that one of them is connected to almost Alien 4 vibe somehow. Again, it's one of the Easter eggs, so it's there is some stuff is in there. It's not completely one to one, but yes, some of the references
Nice.
are there.
What about the system that it's available on? Right now it's on Steam. Are there any plans to bring it to other platforms?
Yeah, at the moment it's on Steam, on Mac, PC, and Linux, and we're working also on Rafael. It's two programmers in the company. There's myself doing the core engine and the game, and Rafael is really helping with the porting. He's done an excellent job to make the game run everywhere, and we are planning to release on consoles pretty much everywhere. In September, the game will be on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox. And finally, I can talk about this. Yesterday, there was a big announcement from Evercade. I don't know if you're familiar with the console from Blaze. It's cartridge-based console. It's an amazing product. They got a lineup of handle and also a console you can play at home. And Full Boy will be the first single game cartridge they'll be releasing. So there is also a physical copy and a special edition of the game. They includes a comic with a backstory, which is also in the regular edition, and an art book for the game, plus stickers. So that's really if you're a collector, there will be Full Void physical release on the Evercade. So we're pretty much everywhere.
Not sponsored.
Oh man, yeah, super exciting.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of my physical copies.
Yeah.
What about in terms of any future plans? Are you already thinking about your next game? Are you trying to just kind of ride the Full Void vibe for a few months once you get that?
No, we're ready on to the next game. Obviously, we are fully supporting Full Void and porting everywhere and promoting. And I have to say, the game reception has been amazing. We've been blown away with the feedback from people. People absolutely adore the game and write to us every day, which is fantastic. We've been working on this project for 2 years, and to have that kind of feedback and appreciation is really, really heartwarming for us. Because again, you put a lot of love into something. It's good to see that people really enjoy it, which is fantastic. But yeah, we're working on the next project as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we took our time to really polish Full Void to the point where we would honestly just say, like, you know what, I don't see any further improvements to this part and this part. Like, we even had to delay the deadline for some parts, but like we really just wanted to push the quality for it. So now that we've released, especially for us artists, there's little to change or update in Full Void itself. Which is why we're already moving on to the next project, and we're kind of taking the lead. And while Ali's still taking care of, like, if there's any bugs or feedback, he still goes back to Full Void and maintains it. If anyone finds any. But yeah, and then on the side, like we're already working on the next game.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe we'll see that at our spring showcase then.
That would be fantastic.
Who knows?
Yeah, well, it's always fun talking to game devs and people in the industry, just seeing their brains kind of formulate, be like, yeah, I love the present, but we got to plan for future stuff too. So it's always fun trying to balance those
very true,
those priorities and balancing it all with 1,000 plates in your hand.
Yeah.
So we had a great conversation. I really liked everything you guys mentioned. I'm super excited for Full Void. Where can people find you guys if they want to check out more on Full Void or anything about the company?
Of course, our website, Out of the Beat, BIT, outofthebit.com. We're also on Twitter as Out of the Beat, and Instagram and TikTok as well. I think TikTok is slightly different, but if you go to the website, there are all the links in there. So yeah.
Love it. Is there anything else you guys want to mention before we wrap up for today?
Yeah, I guess in terms, I don't know, maybe in terms of unique features that we offer in Full Void, some stuff like that. Yeah. yeah. I mean, there is a lot, obviously, with covering Full Void. One of the things we've done, thanks to the custom engine as well, is to mix 2D, hand-drawn 2D pixel art and animation together with some voxel art as well. So let's say that you see a lift in the game, right? If there is a lift going up and we use perspective, it goes like this. So you see the movement of the lift going up and down.
Mm.
So there are some voxel objects embedded into the game, which really adds another dimension to the game. Also, you can go up and down some alley or corners in the game. So the game is 2D, but it allows you to explore the world into a kind of 3D map, which is quite unique as well.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
tricked some people into thinking the game was 2.5D even, but it
Yeah.
was really just like us making custom animations for when you turn the corner that really makes it feel like you're moving around a 3D place, even though it's just flat 2D. The entire game is just 2D.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
No, that's great. I
hand
love
drawn
that.
by those guys.
And hand animated.
And hand animated. And one more thing I want to add, one of the reasons why I really wanted to have a game like Full Void is that, as I mentioned, I love puzzle platformers, but most of them I cannot play together with my family and my kids because my kids are 13s, two twins girls, and they don't like violence. So many of those games have got amazing mechanics, but I cannot share them with my family because there is violence at some point. So we decided to do something that is actually accessible by the entire family. And I do struggle to find games like that on Steam. Planet of Lana is the only example I can find at the moment. And obviously Full Void. So it's something you can play together with the family, maybe help each other to solve puzzles, take turns. So that's the kind of experience we wanted to create. And I can see people do that already, which is fantastic. So yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, guys, for spending some time with me.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the info, all the fun times. For you guys, if anyone wants to check out any more of our stuff from our mini indie showcase, be sure to check out 61indie.com/showcase for other dev interviews, editorials, and more. And of course, always play more indies. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.